Hello, hello. I'm Oliver Who, and this is A Guide to Nothing, episode 6. So, I was supposed to do an episode a couple days ago, but I kind of was going through this traumatic moment in my life this past weekend, which I won't get into too much detail because it's a bit personal, but it was really hard. I think, and this goes perfectly into this topic, so I'm not just talking about this to talk about it, but I felt really lonely when it happened, right? And I didn't know what to do. I felt so I was more sad because I felt alone. However, in that moment, I realized this is the time where I need to show up for myself. Because I look at this, when things happen to me nowadays, when certain things happen, I realize it's kind of like the universe giving me the opportunity to show up for myself, to prove that I know how to love myself. Not prove, but allow myself to give this moment to show up? And when that happened, I said, you know what? I'm going to do things that make me happy today. So I cooked my favorite meal. I took a really nice warm shower. I listened to music to calm me down, and I watched my favorite show. And I went to bed, and it was just great. And I felt so much better the next day. And this goes perfectly into my topic today. I wanted to do an episode where I motivate you guys. I want to give you guys that bad bitch mentality. I don't know if it's going to be long or short today, but regardless, it's still going to be informative. So I wrote down on this beautiful notebook that I have, reasons why you should enjoy being alone. And I've noticed a pattern lately when I've been on TikTok and I've talked to other friends, they talk about how lonely they feel. And there is a difference between being alone and being lonely. And I said, you know what? This is perfect for the podcast because I'm sure some people might be feeling that way who are listening. And I want to motivate them and I want them to feel better about themselves and realize that being alone is actually a gift. Being alone is a beautiful thing. When you are alone, you are being given a gift by the universe to finally find out who you want to be. This time is a moment of freedom. You are free. You have there's so much endless possibilities of things that you can do right now, and you don't even know it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when you've come out of a relationship or something traumatizing, something that is toxic, something that was draining your energy. And imagine it like you're in a cage, right? And the cage is finally open, but you're so used to being in that cage, you don't know what to do. You don't want to go out anymore. And this is me telling you, you need to get out that cage because I know you're probably afraid right now of being alone, but I tell you, there's so much beautiful things that come out of it. So I wanted to give you guys some reasons why you should enjoy it. And the first reason is this won't last forever. So this period of you being alone is not going to be something that's going to be forever. There's going to be a moment when someone comes in or something comes in that disrupt your peace. I don't want to say disrupt, but it is going to come in and change the atmosphere. So look at being alone as a moment to really fall in love with yourself, to enjoy the things that you do like doing, because eventually it's going to change. For me, last year, when I was in a relationship that ended, I had this 1 month period where I just was healing. I was working out every day. I was going to the movie theater every Sunday by myself, eating my favorite meal after the movie and taking myself out on a date once a week. It was really fun. I honestly loved myself so much. I remember just going to bed feeling so good about who I was at that time. The issue was I rushed into another relationship. And it wasn't that that relationship was terrible or that person was terrible. It was that I ended up missing that moment where I was alone because I realized I didn't give myself enough time to be alone and really get to know myself. So when I rushed that, I realized, oh my God, I should have taken a longer time to really get to know who I am. This is the moment to do whatever you want. Don't be in such a rush to jump into the next thing. Like, why? You have your whole life to get into new relationships and make new friends. This is the moment. If you're given this moment to be alone, enjoy it. Stop fighting it. You know what I mean? It's such a beautiful time in your life and you don't even realize it. You won't realize it until it's over. Like you never realize that you enjoy being alone until you're not alone anymore. You know what I mean? It's like when I would be at home and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so bored, or I hate that I'm just like doing nothing today. And then I'll go out with my friend. And that it's not always because I love going out with my friends, but sometimes I'll go out to like a party or an event and I think, oh my God, I would so rather be at home alone right now watching my favorite movie. So this is what I'm trying to say. It's like, you don't realize how good you have it until it's gone. So this is what I'm saying about being alone. You don't realize how good it is to be alone until you won't be alone anymore. Until it's going to be chaotic and there's going to be a lot of things happening. Like, wait, I wish I had that moment back. So keep that in mind. This won't last forever. Number 2, a sense of self allows you to create a healthier relationship and boundaries. So, what I'm trying to say is, in this moment when you're alone, you're giving this period to really know who you are, right? So, this is a period to fall in love with yourself. This is a period to create this positive environment. Because when you create this positive environment and you exude that kind of energy, the right person will come along. You attract the right thing and the right person. So, not just a person, but also maybe the right job, maybe the right career path. But you have to exude that energy. And by doing that, you have to stop being negative with yourself. That means affirmations, journaling, doing things that require self-love. Like I said in a couple episodes ago, discipline is a form of self-love. So doing something every day that will help you, right? Like meditating every day or journaling every day or trying to do it every day is still an act of self-love. So keep that in mind, because when you are negative, right? When you're like, I don't like me or I look so ugly, you're going to attract someone like that. You're going to attract someone that's going to feed into that toxicity. And you're probably going to think, no, that's not true. It is true. Because that energy that you're exuding, all the negative things are going to come to you. When something bad happens, and I'm not trying to say that your life is going to be all peaches and roses, whatever. Like it's going to be all great because you're exuding positive energy. Things are going to happen. Things still happen to me, but it's the outlook, right? It's the way that I see it now. I have a different perspective. I'm not always so negative. When something happens that doesn't align with me, I make sure to find a way to realign back to who I am. So if I don't like something, I can change it. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. It's like, it's not that you're always going to be in a good, positive environment. It's that now you know how to get out of that funk. And when you're allowing yourself to really fall in love with yourself and enjoy being with yourself, the right person will come along and they will see that. They go, wow, you really are sure of yourself. You know your worth. And when the wrong person does come along or the wrong thing, you will also know it, because now you've gotten a sense of self and you're thinking, I know who I am. No. It's like that bad bitch mentality. I know who I am. And it's not that you think that you're better than anyone. It's that you know what serves you now. You know what aligns with you. That doesn't align with me. I don't want it. No, I don't feel good about this. Or we should go here. No, I don't think I want to go there because I don't feel good. It doesn't align with me anymore. And that's what I'm trying to say. A sense of self will allow you to know you can now be picky about what you do. That's what I love about being alone, is I'm getting to know what I don't want and what I do want. So when I don't want something, I don't feel bad anymore to say no. Before I used to be like, oh, okay, I'll do it even though I know it doesn't align with me. So this is going to allow you to create healthy relationships and also set boundaries with people that you feel like maybe aren't serving you. And that's a beautiful thing about being alone. Now, the third thing, which I personally love, is allowing yourself to conserve your energy. So being alone allows you to avoid those kind of relationships that drained you, right? When I was in my previous relationship, I just felt really drained and I was always tired. I never had the energy to do anything. Now I feel like every day I wake up, I'm just excited to go about my day. And that's a good thing about being alone, is that you don't have anyone around in your life anymore to drain you dry. Not saying that the person I was with was draining me dry, but just the relationship itself to me was a lot, right? Or sometimes it could be friendships where people are constantly negative or they're in a mood and you feel like it's kind of just like, I would call it like energy vampires, right? Now you have this moment in your life when you're alone to conserve that energy and use it for things that serve you. Maybe you want to go hiking, or maybe you want to start taking activities that that you've never decided to do before, like hobbies that you never thought you could do before. Now you can. This is a moment to do whatever you want. You're given the freedom, and you don't even see it as that. You see it as, I'm lonely. You're not lonely. You're being given a gift right now. This is a gift. This gift is so beautiful, and you won't know it. You don't even know it right now. You don't even know how good you got it. And I'm trying to tell you, it's important to conserve your energy. I now have so much time. I'm not isolating from others. I do hang out with my friends and stuff like that. But I've given myself more days off with people. And I've allowed myself to just be alone for a lot of times. Like I go on a meditative walk. I always say that, but it's true. I love my meditative walk. I love just watching my favorite show alone. I love just cooking and cleaning alone and playing the music that I like. And sometimes if I, let's say, call a friend, I'll feel tired afterwards. And I'm like, man, I wish I actually didn't make that phone call. So this is me saying that it's okay if you want to remove yourself from situations that drain you. Conserve your energy. Use that energy for things that will allow you to better your life, maybe once you conserve your energy, you can finally do the thing that you've been wanting to do that will allow you to propel in that career path you've been wanting to do, right? So maybe, I don't know, I'm just trying to give you an example, but maybe you're into photography and you've always wanted to dabble into that. Now you have enough energy to pick up that camera again and go about and actually get into it. Get into the things that you like. It doesn't have to be something with your career path. It could just be fun, like crocheting. I don't know. It's just anything, literally. And last but not least, mental glow up. People always talk about the physical glow up you get from being alone. I get it. You know what? You're alone. Now this is your time to, I want to go to the gym. I want to get that revenge. But no, I think that's fine. Physical glow up is great. But no one ever talks about the mental glow up. No one ever talks about the mental glow up. The mental glow up being that you are finally in a place where you're creating healthier habits that will allow you to live in peace. So you're now avoiding to do the old things that you used to do. You're breaking those old habits to create healthier ones. And now you're falling in love with yourself again. That's a great thing about when you get a sense of self when you're alone. You're building better habits for yourself. You're now seeing old patterns that don't serve you anymore. Like for me, one of my old patterns I used to do a lot was when I was stressed, I would always drink. I wouldn't get like plastered drunk, but I would get a little bit tipsy, and I felt like it would just be something I always needed to do. And now when things happen to me, because I am more self-aware by being alone, I realize, no. I don't want to drink. I'll have tea. I've been drinking a lot of tea. So anytime I'm kind of stressed, I meditate and drink my tea. And that to me makes me feel good because it's an act of self-love. It's like, wow, I'm finally showing up for myself in the way I should have before. So think of this moment of you being alone, not just like a physical glow up, but also a mental one. Because a mental glow up is no one ever talks about it because you can't see it, right? It's just something that you kind of just feel. But you're going to notice the change when you start seeing I don't know, when you start seeing the old patterns that you're breaking, you're like, wow, I don't do that anymore. Or I don't talk so negatively about me anymore. Like I remember in my head, my inside voice used to always be negative. I used to be like, I'm so stupid, or I'm such an idiot for doing that. I never say that anymore. I never say that. I always cheer myself on. Even in bad moments, I end up cheering myself on because I know I need it. I treat myself as if I'm talking to my inner child, the old me that needs to hear it, that never got to hear it as a kid. Because you know what? You got to think about it that way. Think about it as if your younger version of you is expecting that love that you need, right? You need to give love to that younger version of yourself, And that's what I've been doing. In order for me to grow mentally, I've been being really kind to myself. So if you're asking, what can I do to really have a mental glow up? I think all you need to do is discipline. Discipline leads to self-love and just being kind to yourself. You're going to have moments in this part of, when you're being alone right now. You're going to have moments where you're going to do things you're going to regret. We're going to do things that don't align with you. You're not always going to have an amazing day. It's okay to have a bad day, but it's also a beautiful thing when you realize, okay, I'm having a bad day. I need to show up for myself more today. So I hope this episode, I don't know if it was short or long. I can't tell until it's over, but I hope I gave you guys some information on how to really better yourself, because you guys are all fucking amazing. You guys are all bad bitches, all right? And if you're feeling alone right now, I just want you to realize this is a gift, and I never want you to go into it thinking you're lonely. I promise you it won't be forever. However, this is a moment to really attract positive things. This is a moment where you want your energy to be magnetic. The only way your energy can be magnetic is by you knowing who you are, or learning more about yourself and falling in love with yourself again. Or falling in love with yourself, period. Maybe you've never done that. So this is the moment to really show up. What do I like? How can I make myself feel good? Stop relying on other people to do it. Because maybe they'll do it for a little bit, but then when they stop doing it, you're going to feel sad about it. You're like, man, I wish that they would do it again. I want that validation. Why did they stop? That's the problem about relationships with others. We rely on others, and human beings are complex. Human beings don't always stay the same. Just like you don't stay the same, the person won't stay the same either. So stop relying on other people to validate you, because just like you, they're complex. They're going to change. And when they do change, you're going to be disappointed. And I'm not saying people always disappoint you. I'm just saying it's okay to lower your expectations and actually allow that person to do whatever they want. If they don't want to give you that love, that's okay, because you can give it to yourself. So this is, I'm on Oliver Who, and this is The Guide to Nothing, episode 6. And I hope I did something for you guys today.